Starts and sits for the AFC home games right now on Fantasy Football Today Express. And we start with a couple of Saturday games. Pittsburgh and Baltimore, usually a low-scoring game. Hopefully not. What are you thinking for this game, Heath?
I am starting Lamar Jackson. I'm starting Derrick Henry. I'm starting Mark Andrews and Pat Freiermuth. I would view Zay Flowers as a high-end number 3 wide receiver. Najee Harris just barely over Jaylen Warren, but they're more flexes. And if George Pickens plays, he's a boom-bust number 3.
When you say you're starting Freiermuth and Andrews, are there any guys, like where are they? Are they low-end starters?
There's no one off the waiver wire you would start over them. They are 6th and 8th.
Oh, wow. Okay. Houston and Kansas City. What do you like?
They're really like Travis Kelce is probably the only must start on the Chiefs. I'm starting Nico and Mixon. Patrick Mahomes is a borderline top 12 quarterback. We're expecting him to play because he's practicing in full and saying he's going to play. I don't want to start a Chiefs running back. I don't want to start Tank Dell. I don't really want to start Dalton Schultz. I obviously don't want to start CJ Stroud. Hopkins and Worthy are both right around wide receiver 40 for me, so decent flexes. We're getting Marquise Brown back. I think that he's probably not going to play a full complement of snaps.
Okay, the Rams are at the Jets. Who do you like in this game?
Rodgers and Stafford are both low-end QB1s. I would start Rodgers over Stafford. Kyron is a must-start running back. Puka, Adams. I think Wilson and Kupp, too. You're starting all those guys. Tyler Higbee's back, but we're not starting him. I would view Breece Hall as a high-end number 2 running back if he's truly just off of the injury report. If he pops back up on the injury report, then he's a low-end number 2.
So you've always, or not always, but recently you've been a little skeptical of Cooper Kupp, and you looked brilliant last week. So how confident are you in him this week?
He is the lowest ranked of these 4 wide receivers in this game. He's not a top 18 guy. I think I've got him 20th, 22nd, somewhere in that range. He's right in that Tyreek Hill range of guys. Everybody's probably going to start depending, no matter what I say, but they're low end number 2s.
Yeah, no, I think we're going to get a lot of Kupp questions this weekend. Heath won't be there, unfortunately.
We'll get a couple
Monday morning. We'll get a couple dozen. All right, San Francisco at Miami. How are we feeling about this game?
I'll go Purdy just barely over Tua, but they're both QB2s. Achan's a must start. Garindo's an RB2 if he's okay. Patrick Taylor would be a flex if Garindo's not okay. I am starting Juwan Jennings over Tyreek Hill, but they're both number 2 wide receivers. Debo is right in that Hopkins and Worthy range. And I would put Jalen Waddle in the same range if he was able to play. Start the tight ends.
Wouldn't it be nice if those teams were rolling into this game and we could look forward to, maybe the best game of the week?
Well, that's the thing is when I questioned the Dolphins' end of season schedule early in the year, this was one of the games that I thought would be good because it's at home in great weather and it's supposed to be a shootout, and it does not look like a shootout.
And the Niners defense is playing pretty well. I mean, the Buffalo game in the snow notwithstanding, but you get Bosa back. They got some pieces in their secondary back. They got Greenlaw back. All right, Cleveland's at Cincinnati here with Dorian Thompson-Robinson playing. Do you have faith in any Cleveland Brown?
The closest I would get would be Jerome Ford. He's a low-end number 2 running back. Jerry Jeudy's a low-end number 3 wide receiver. David Njoku would be a low-end tight end 1 if he's able to play. But Dorian Thompson-Robinson is probably in a season where we've had terrible, terrible quarterbacks play. You've seen 4 of them on your team. Dorian Thompson-Robinson is uniquely bad, much worse than most anyone else we will see play quarterback. Joe Burrow is the other side of that coin, one of the best and one of the only quarterbacks we can feel good about. Start Chase Brown, start Jamar Chase, start T. Higgins. That's pretty much it.
Tennessee's at Indianapolis. Are there any must starts in that game?
As long as Pollard's okay, I would put him and Taylor as high-end RB2s. That's the closest thing to a must start in this game. If Pollard's out, then Tyjae Spears is a must start. Calvin Ridley's my favorite wide receiver. He's a number 3. Pittman and Downs are both in that Hopkins-worthy range, right around wide receiver 40. I do not want to start a tight end, but Chigo Okonkwo is a high-end tight end 2. Anthony Richardson, Like this, you talk about a guy who never finishes within 5 points of his projection. That's Anthony Richardson. But I've got him projected as QB 12. He's an okay start.
Titans are really bad against mobile quarterbacks. 9th most rushing yards per game, 4th most rushing touchdowns per game to quarterbacks. Let's take a break here. I got a couple more games to ask you about, and then we'll read some questions in the chat. We'll be right back. All right, we got New England at Buffalo. Who do you like in this game?
The Bills. I think the Bills are going to be okay in this game. I will start Josh Allen. I will start James Cook. Khalil Shakir is a high-end number 3 wide receiver. Hunter Henry is a good start at tight end. Dalton Kincaid is, if you want 9 points, he'll probably get you 9 points. A high-end tight end 2 for me. Ramondre is a high-end flex.
And Jacksonville at the, well, no, let me ask you more about Ramondre. Compare Ramondre to, all right, you know what? We'll go right into the Jacksonville Raiders game. Compare him to the running backs in this game.
I like Alexander Madison more than Ramondre. I like Ramondre more than the Jags running backs. I'm not very excited about Travis Etienne, even though he was better last week. He's a flex. I would start Brian Thomas Jr. I would start Jacoby Myers. I would start Brock Bowers. Brenton Strange is a low-end starter and the best streamer available. I don't want to start a quarterback, obviously, but Aiden O'Connell's not far from the top 24 if you have to in a super flex league.
Yeah. All right, chat. What do you got for us here? Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Anthony Richardson.
Baker is one of the 5 quarterbacks in the circle of trust this week. I'm starting him.
Mahomes or Stafford?
I go back and forth on this one. I think the safer play is to play Stafford.
Yeah, if we weren't worried about his ankle, it'd probably be Mahomes, but
right.
We have to be worried about that. Start a flex: Joe Mixon, T. Higgins, Kyron Williams, Brian Thomas Jr.
That is just a fantastic group. I'd really question. I think you're probably sitting somebody or starting somebody that I wouldn't, because Brian Thomas Jr. is my number 5 wide receiver. Joe Mixon is my number 5 running back. I'd probably start Mixon personally.
I'd start Thomas. Okay, so pick 3: London, Kupp, Jennings, Tracy, Ford, McMillan.
I will start London. I will start Jennings, and I'm going to start Tyrone Tracy
over Kupp. Okay,
I am.
All right. Strange, Hawkinson, or Kincaid?
It's going to be Brenton Strange.
Flowers or Neighbors?
Neighbors.
Start 2: Nico, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Smith, Terry McLaurin.
So I will start Nico, and I will start Terry.
And Jaylen Warren or Craig Reynolds?
It's going to be Jaylen Warren for me.
Get that picture just
fantastic.
Oh, man. Last one here: Thielen or McMillan?
I will go with Adam Thielen. If it was one more game for McMillan of this recent production, it'd probably be him, but I'll trust Thielen.
All right, we are out of here. Thanks, folks. Good luck. We'll talk to you tomorrow on Fantasy Football Today Express.